Hidden away on the lower level of the Masonic House of the Temple in Washington, D.C., there's a remarkable painting not many people have seen. George Washington, the first president of the United States, wears the decorated apron of Freemasonry. Nearby are the square and the compass, traditional symbols of Freemasonry. The painting is described in Dan Brown's best-selling novel, The Lost Symbol.
It's a cornerstone laying ritual, and essentially a date is chosen that is auspicious from an astrological standpoint. And there will be certain blessings that are given when this cornerstone is laid. And the idea is that whatever's to take place in that building will have a solid and auspicious beginning.
And what building is George Washington, Freemason, laying the cornerstone for? The United States Capitol.
And it's not just the Capitol. Those ceremonies, those rituals were used in the building of the Washington Monument and the White House.
They were, as well as many, many other buildings.
The lore of Freemasonry marks Washington in other hidden ways as well. Consider, for example, the number 33, cherished by the Masons.
33 is a very important number in ancient mysticism. There's a reason that Jesus Christ was said to be 33. There is a reason that there are 33 vertebrae in our spine, and that much of Freemasonry has to do with the concept of the body as a temple.
33 repeats throughout the Masonic House of the Temple.
There are 33 columns or pillars,
sure,
each one 33 feet tall.
Yes.
And the same number is built into one of D.C.'s most famous sites.
Is it coincidence that the cap on the Washington Monument
There is no such thing as coincidence when you're dealing with the number 33.
Weighs exactly
3,300 pounds.
Yeah.
3,300 pounds.
That's right. The capstone matches that mystical number. Brown says the Freemasons influenced the founding of America in profound ways. And what he has to say may change what you think about how this country came to be.
If you have a group of men who are Masons and simultaneously founding fathers, and part of their Masonic ideal is that all men are equal, of course that will be an underlying theme in the founding of a country. Another important aspect of Freemasonry is this idea of freedom of religion. We talked about these books on the altar.
It's inclusive, it's not exclusive.
Exactly. That couldn't have said it better.
Freemasons assumed members believed in a supreme being, but that's as far as it went. Religious freedom was built into Freemasonry, and many scholars say the Freemasons built it into the U.S. Constitution. 1/3 of the signers were known to be Freemasons. Brown says his research led him to a conclusion that might shock some people.
America wasn't founded a Christian country. It became a Christian country. The important thing to remember with the Masons and the Founding Fathers is that many of the Founding Fathers were deists.
Deists believe that a supreme being created the universe, but that being is impersonal. It won't answer your prayers or even hear them.
So when you talk about the Founding Fathers, who believed in deism as opposed to theism?
Almost all of them.
Give me names.
George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams.
There are a lot of people who say there is no proof, for example, that Thomas Jefferson was a Freemason.
That is true, but certainly a deist. Thomas Jefferson went so far as to take the Holy Bible and remove all of the references to anything miraculous, to the resurrection, to the virgin birth. Jefferson himself said that the idea of the virgin birth, Christ springing from a virgin, would one day seem as much like myth as the idea of Minerva springing from the head of Jupiter.
The Founding Fathers, Brown says, didn't just read the Bible. They also read Roman and Egyptian mythology, and they read the stars.
This reliance on astrology, what does it tell you? What does it suggest about our Founding Fathers?
I think that they had a respect for what they did not understand, a respect for the heavens.
It would be hard to imagine Barack Obama taking a trip or doing the groundbreaking on a major monument or something and using astrology as a basis for the time and the place. He'd be ridiculed.
And rightly so, I believe.
Why was it okay then and is it not okay now?
Well, for the same reason it was okay to believe that if you threw a virgin into the ocean, a storm wouldn't hit you.
That's not okay now?
That's not okay either.
All right.
Science progresses.
In The Lost Symbol, Moloch thinks that by learning the secrets of the Freemasons, he can become something like a god. You might be surprised to learn the founders had a similar idea.
There is a painting in the Capitol.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Well, it's a painting that I was shocked to find was there. I said there is a painting called The Apotheosis of Washington, apotheosis meaning the God-making of Washington.
George Washington becoming a god.
It seemed almost irreverential. It was like, how can a man become a god? But it really, to my eye, and to other historians' eye, catches this concept of the power of man.
Again, can you imagine anyone putting forth that notion of politicians as gods?
Right.
Here we are in the 21st century.
Well,
you'd be run out of town.
You'd be run out of town. There was a statue of George Washington that sat in the Capitol. He was unclothed. It was a model of a statue of Zeus. It was George Washington as a god.
Right.
And that did get run out of the Capitol building.
When they thought of becoming godlike, the founders were probably thinking about perfecting their minds through science and learning. In Brown's novel, however, the villain Moloch believes something much more profound and potentially sinister, that the Freemasons from ancient times through the time of George Washington to the present day guarded secrets that could transform matter, transform a person, unleash incredible psychic and spiritual power. Most modern-day Masons say the Brotherhood is not nearly so mysterious.
There is no deep, dark, intimate, and ultimate secret of Freemasonry which will transform the world in the way that the lost symbol portrays. It would be exciting if it were true, but such is not the case.
That's what most Freemasons say, but not all.
Sometimes it is said we have no secrets. Nothing could be further from the truth.